All right, here we go. Marques Houston, welcome to VladTV.
I'm glad to be here.
Man, we have a legendary entertainment figure in the house right now, man.
Oh, stop it.
Thank you so much. I mean, seriously, like someone who's been doing it decade after decade, reinventing himself. Congratulations, man.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.
So you grew up in L.A.?
Yeah.
What part?
I grew up in South Central L.A., South Central Los Angeles, right over there, Crenshaw area. And, so just in the hood, growing up in the hood every day, little kid, I went to school, it was regular life for me,
South Central has sort of been painted a certain type of way in music.
Yeah.
Like I always remember on the Boys in the Hood soundtrack,
yeah.
How to Survive in South
How
Central.
to Survive in South Central,
by Ice Cube.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty bad. I lived in an area that didn't see too much violence. I was kind of like right around the corner from violence. I remember they actually shot Boys in the Hood right around the corner from my house. So that was like the highlight of my life when I was little. I was like, they shot Boys in the Hood, like right. So but I mean, it wasn't too bad. I mean, I think everything in entertainment is always a little bit, a little bit padded, a little extras. But I mean, it was pretty bad. I mean, one of my friends that lived right down the street from me, it got shot. His car got shot up, and something like that. So look, I had a couple of stories that I heard about, but I was one of those kids that never really wanted to get in any trouble, never found any trouble or everything. I just kind of stayed to myself. I was friends with everybody and just did my thing.
Well, I mean, a lot of times when you live in those neighborhoods, you get kind of pulled into it.
Yeah.
Whether you want to or not.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's just a protection thing because if you live over here,
then
it doesn't really matter who you're affiliated with. That's where your mom stays.
Exactly.
We're not cool.
So yeah, I just kind of played outside, just a regular kid. Went to school, a pretty good school. I went to a magnet school, so
okay.
I wasn't gangbanging or doing anything like that.
Yeah.
I was just being regular.
Okay. Like, at what point did you start thinking about entertainment?
Actually, it was when I saw the group ABC. They were actually a really heavy influence on what made me want to do it because they were so young. Like I love New Edition. They were my favorite group growing up. But when I seen ABC come out, they were my age. So I was like, that made me kind of feel like I could do it as well. So that's when I kind of start, trying to sing and dance and everything like that. Then I entered a talent show when I was about 8 years old, and I performed the ABC song, and that's when like my manager found me at the talent show, and that's kind of like how it all happened.
Okay, and your manager was?
Chris Stokes.
Chris Stokes,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So he found you at a talent show?
Yeah. I did a talent show at my school. He found me, and the rest is history.
Okay, so he found you at the talent show.
Yeah.
And what did he have going on at the time?
He had a production company going on at the time. He was just starting out. He was a music producer back then, and he was putting together a group. And he found me, and then he had Romeo, and we just kind of put the whole thing together from there.
It was Immature.
Yeah. Immature.
Okay. Now, wasn't he connected to B2K as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Was that before or after you guys?
B2K came way after Immature.
Okay.
We actually helped put B2K together.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got it. So Immature was his first group.
Yeah.
And this was when boy groups were
popping, serious. Yeah, exactly.
Like, who were the other like the white boy groups and so forth?
Well, it was us. It was Backstreet Boys.
Right.
At that time, I think they were the biggest because you had New Edition and New Kids on the Block.
Right.
You had Immature, Backstreet Boys, and you had like B2K and NSYNC. That kind of like was how it went.
Okay. So at this point, like, boy groups were like the biggest thing ever.
Yeah.
So he put this group together. Did you know the other kids in the group?
No, we had all actually met. One of the group members that didn't make it, his name was Half Pint. I went to school with him.
Okay.
So we went to school together, and I knew him from school. And then the other guy, LDB, he actually was my neighbor. So once Half Pint didn't make it in the group, we put LDB in the group, and so I kind of knew him. But I had just met Rome, from the group.
Okay. They put the group together, and then how much training started happening at that point?
Man, just constant. Like, we went to rehearsals, it was like, same as you see the New Edition story where all the kids come in and they do the training, they, kind of cliche the way you put them together, and they always got to be around each other, and they fight, and we fought, and we argued, and we, had to get along and everything like that. But one thing I feel like that was different about our group, it was only 3 of us. So, we had to get along because it was like, being in a group where there's like 4, you can kind of pair off You know, two can be over here, two can be over here. But like the three of us had to create a dynamic with each other because it was just the three of us. So I think that's what made Immature special, because we really got along, and we made a pact to be like, you know, friends first and never let the industry kind of come between us. So that's how it was with us. We never really cared about, you know, we took it as a job. You know, although we were a huge success, we sold millions of albums and had tours and everything like that. At the end of the day, we were like, you know, as long as we stay friends, then, you know, we'll be good.
I mean, did you guys ever fight?
Oh, yeah.
Like what was the worst fight y'all ever had?
Man, it didn't involve me. It was actually the worst fight I seen was Rome and Kelp. They kind of had like a little fist fight, and it wasn't nothing too bad or nothing, you know, too over the top. But they had a little fist fight, and then like kind of like after it was over, they kind of like dapped each other up and was like, good fight. It was kind of like, that's kind of friends we were. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had to just get that one out. You know, we had arguments and we had disagreements because, you know, you just go through that as kids. And, you know, when you get a little older and you start becoming men and you start, you know, separating and being individuals, you know, start having your own opinions and forming your own, you know, this is what I believe and what I think we should do or what I think we should do. And you can kind of argue from there. And then we kind of just, you know, I think we got to a certain age, when you start out that young, you get to a certain age where you grow up and you kind of just want different things, you know, and that's kind of like what we didn't really break up or anything like that. It wasn't this huge, you know, blowout. We did have an argument because our argument was the fact that, you know, I was going in a separate direction. Rome was going in a separate direction and Kelp was going in a separate direction. And we all kind of just were going in different directions as men, as young men. And we kind of like was like, you know, this is what it is. And that's, you know.
Okay, so you guys get formed as this group.
Yeah.
Called Immature.
Yeah.
Did the name come up right away?
Yeah. We already had a name. Yep.
Okay. Immature just because you guys were young.
Just, yep.
That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much no big story to it.
No hidden story. What the I stands for.
That's what it is.
And the M, the double M is
Immature,
really,
you know?
Okay, just Immature. We're young. Okay, right. You guys form as a group. You guys start practicing.
Yeah.
Like, how quickly does the record deal come?
We had a few years before, or I would say like a year before we signed to Virgin Records. You know, Chris was real connected in the music industry because he had been doing music for so long, and you know, we actually had a deal at Capitol Records with a woman named Joy Bailey before, and that kind of didn't work out. So we moved it to Virgin, and we signed our deal at Virgin. Everybody was excited. We put out an album. It didn't really do well at all, and after that is when we replaced Half Pint with LDB. And we got signed to MCA. Mm-hmm. And then after that, it was just like, you know, the rest is history from there.
So the MCA album.
Yeah.
What was the name of it again?
It was called Playtime Is Over.
Playtime Is Over. Comes out.
Yep.
Platinum?
Yep.
After the first one, what? Did it go gold at all? Or?
Yeah.
So the first one went gold.
No, the first one that didn't do
didn't do nothing.
On Our Worst Behavior, yeah, that didn't do anything.
So it didn't do, so you guys are put out an album, a major label, because Virgin is still a major label.
At that point, yeah, we had Jermaine Dupri. We had like, you know, we had a whole, like this whole big thing, and we was crazy, colorful kids, and I think we did House Party 3 at that point.
Yeah.
You know, so the label really had high expectations for us. I don't think people could relate to it because we were so young, and it was like, you know, it just didn't stick.
Right, because you were how old at the time?
We were like 9
years old, right?
Like,
Pre-teens.
Exactly.
Okay. First album comes out, so then you guys get dropped from the label, or do you guys just
we asked for a release,
okay,
and we got a release, and we kind of just, Chris took his own money and recorded our album, Playtime Is Over. You know, took us in the studio, we recorded the album, and he did the whole thing, did like photo shoots and stuff like that, and then we presented it as an overall package to Ernie Singleton over at MCA, and he signed us.
Who does that these days?
Right.
Who finishes off, here's the whole project,
Yeah.
here's the imagery, here's everything
Yep.
completed, mixed, mastered.
Yep.
We just need a distributor for this.
Basically,
Boom.
that's how it
And
works.
MCA said, we feeling it.
Yep.
And then it goes platinum.
Yeah.
You're how old at the time?
12.
How does it feel to be 12-year-old with a platinum record?
Well,
Coming from South Central.
Here's what I remember about that situation. It was really cool, and kind of just we all talk about it as men now, how funny it was. I forgot his name, and it's probably best that he remains nameless, but there's a guy at the label. We first went to New York to meet everybody at the label before we actually signed the deal. This guy was so rude to us. He was like just the meanest. He was in a really high position over at MCA, and he was so mean. And we were kids at the time. We didn't understand like, why is this guy being such a jerk? You know, we were just like, you know, meeting him. We were like, hey, he was just a complete, just the meanest guy we ever met. And then cut to, got signed, deal got signed, and we came out and blew up. The first thing on Never Lies was huge. We went back a couple months later, and he was like, oh, my favorite guys in the world. And that right there, at a young age, we saw, I don't want to make it seem like this is a bad thing, but we kind of saw how fake the industry was at that point. And we were like, you know, from that point, we really took it as, this is not, you can't buy into this. Everything is fake. It's not what it seems. All this lights, camera, action, it's all a job. And you know, people are gonna be fake with you. And at that point, we just kind of all talked as kids, and we was like, we know what this is about. You know, we understood it at a young age.